Hello friend and welcome to BorgcasTAS 2.3 with Amory and Peter and Sleepy Lily.
Yeah, hello.
We're covering the Practical Joker.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh dear, showing your hand a bit there. I mean, this is nothing to do with the Joker from Batman, obviously, but something completely different. Written by Chuck Menville, first of two. He also wrote 3 episodes of Dr. Kildare. And then things get very animated as he works on nearly every Filmation show ever. 61 episodes of the animated adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Loads of episodes of various incarnations of the Smurfs. 29 episodes of The Real Ghostbusters, show run by...
JMS, isn't it?
All 13 episodes of The Biscuits. Not soggy, I hope.
Ugh.
Hidden deep in a swamp lies tiny Biscuit Castle. Home of the smallest dogs in the world, the Biscuits. For years, kings have entrusted their royal treasure to these pups. Now, from a nearby castle, rules the wasteful King Max.
Checker! We must find the royal treasure! What?
Such a bizarre sounding setup.
Yes, what were they smoking?
I don't know. All 25 episodes of
Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle.
6 episodes in 1977's The New Adventures of Batman. 2 episodes of Jason of Star Command, which is live action, and co-starred James Doohan as the commander. No idea if he was the engineer, mind you. All 33 episodes of Tarzan and the Super 7, which repackaged, well, let's hand it over to the voiceover man, shall we?
The Super 7. Webwoman and Spinner, 2 crime fighters who use the powers of insects to thwart evil. The Super 7. Manta and Moray, monarchs of the deep, protecting the world's sea creatures. The Freedom Force, with Isis, Super Samurai, and other legendary heroes. The Super 7. Stretch and shrink to incredible adventures with Super Stretch and Micro Woman, the world's most fantastic superheroes. Fun, thrills, and adventure with the most amazing superheroes of all. The Super 7.
Unsurprisingly, it also covered Tarzan, Batman, and Jason of Star Command to make up the numbers. So recycling, basically. All 17 episodes of It's the Wolf, about a wolf that chases a lamb but is thwarted every time by a dog.
Wow.
Yes. All 17 episodes of Chattanooga Cats, the adventures of some southern beatnik cats, presumably a more hippie version of Boss Cat. All 17 episodes, is a theme here, isn't there, of Around the World in 79 Days? A cut-price version of The Adventures of Willy Fogg, I suppose.
Yeah. Was it Willy Mist?
Willy Mist. All 16 episodes of Motor Mouse and Autocat, which was Tom and Jerry for petrol heads.
Right.
All 16 episodes of
Lassies, Lassies Rescue Rangers. Lassies, Lassies Rescue Rangers. Lassies.
all 16 episodes of Speed Buggy. I'll leave you to work out what that was about. All 16 episodes of Uncle Croc's Block. An incredibly meta for 1975 show where a guy in a crocodile suit introduces cartoons and bickers with the production crew doing the links. Yeah. 3 episodes of The New Adventures of Gilligan.
Those poor people.
Only 1 episode of
Hooey, #1 super guy.
Presumably because it was Hanna-Barbera rather than Filmation. My personal favourite, all 16 episodes of Groovy Ghoulies.
That must have a different meaning in the US.
Yes, it obviously doesn't mean bollocks in the US. It's not about the coolest balls on the planet, but a rock band featuring a Dracula, Frankenstein, and a Wolfman. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Ghoulies.
Yes, Ghoulie.
Right, but we would just say ghouls, though, wouldn't we?
Possibly.
Not
Or ghosts.
Yeah, or monsters. Or...
Yes, in this case, monsters, most definitely. But there we
Yeah. So
Groovy monsters, though, doesn't alliterate quite as well, does it?
Amazing monsters.
Amazing monsters? But that Groovy sees because they're the musicians. Musical monsters, I guess, would have done it, but anyway.
Yeah, or just the Monster Mash.
1972's comedy short, Sergeant Swell of the Mounties.
Has he also got Groovy Ghoulies?
Yeah, apparently.
That's why he's swelling.
Swelling Ghoulies. The 30-minute The New Shmoo. You remember The New Shmoo?
No.
Nobody remembers The New Shmoo except me and Richard Herring. It's weird. That's another Hanna-Barbera creation that followed the Scooby-Doo model of a group of teenagers solving mysteries with a comic character. In this case, a white shape-changing blob from the Little Abner cartoon strip.
Right.
Yes, so a spunky version of Scooby-Doo. All 13 episodes of Benji Zax and the Alien Prince.
Oh, now that I remember. I loved that.
And I had a crush on the female baddie as well.
I think it was Benji was the dog.
Yes.
I just wanted Benji.
Yeah, and the robot wasn't too annoying as well for the 1980s.
No,
so
but I wanted the dog,
nice
basically.
design, rather black hole-ish, but it's good. So just a few of his credits there.
Captain's log, stardate 3183.3. Our present mission, a routine geological survey of Type 4 asteroids, is nearing completion. The cruise has been uneventful, and we are now approaching the final asteroid in our assigned sector, a full 72 hours ahead of schedule. Scotty, give us maximum shielding.
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Sulu, bring us about to a new heading of 902 Mark 6.
Aye, aye, sir.
Mr. Spock, who the devil's attacking us?
Romulans, Captain. They were apparently lying in wait on the far side of that asteroid.
A cold-blooded ambush. Let's give the heathens a fight they won't soon forget.
Negative. We've suffered damage and we're outnumbered 3-1. I think this is an instance where discretion is the better part of valor.
Over to you, Anne-Marie.
Sorry, there's not much plot here. Their Enterprise is undertaking a geological survey. They're ahead of schedule. They're going to do the last asteroid, and they get blasted by Romulans who say they're in Romulan space. They're outnumbered 3-1, so they go to flee.
Let me have a word in edgeways.
I'm trying to get this over with. It's shit.
I just want to note that the Romulans are still using D7s here.
Yeah.
This is their third and final animated series appearance, following the Survivor and Time Trap.
Right. Anyway, contact is established with the Romulan commander, who says they violated Romulan territory.
He's voiced by Norm Prescott,
Where do I know that name from?
the co-founder of Filmation, and previously the voice of the Orion Lieutenant. We later hear a Romulan lieutenant voiced by Lou Schiemer, who's another Filmation founder, and last voiced one of the ambergris fish people.
Oh, okay. The Enterprise crew say they're nowhere near Romulan territory, but that aspect of this never gets resolved.
No, somebody is lying. I mean, presumably the Romulans, but that's never investigated because there are more interesting things to look at, apparently.
Or something. Yeah, so apparently violating the territory is punishable by death. They're being overtaken, and then there's an unidentified energy shield, so they're going to go through it to escape. They should be able to ride it out. The Romulans have turned back. They halt for repairs. They're then having a feast to celebrate their escape, but their glasses have leaked and given them all an airplane-style drinking problem.
They get splooged.
Yes.
It's a very unfortunate series of visuals at this point.
Yeah, because it don't look like drink.
No.
No. And McCoy says that they've got a practical joker amongst them. Kirk seems to think there's actually something wrong with this food synthesizers until his spoon bends Uri Geller style. The practical jokes continue with the typical put black ink on the binocular thing.
Yeah, it's Spock Eye of the Kormsingrig.
Right. And then the captain's log is getting less amusing as time goes on. You have Mres and Arex being reported by Scotty for food coming out the replicator, and then, well, I think it's supposed to be a custard pie, but it just looks like he's got his face covered in cum.
Oh, Scotty.
Then Kirk is a jerk written on the back of his shirt.
Good job that didn't happen to Spock, isn't it? Spock is a... Anyway.
It could have had Spock is a cock or Spock is a jock, actually.
Yeah, it would. Kids' cartoon, it would have been the latter, I suspect.
Yeah.
But anyway. And when Kirk walks in, Arix is in command, interestingly. Yeah. I think that's the first time we've seen that. Ress is on the bridge as well, which is nice.
Yeah, it's nice to see her. And then she says to Kirk, "Look behind you." He's like, "Ha ha ha, that's so funny." But then there's a sort of gas, and then it's a fog, and then it's ice. The laughing is coming through the comms, and apparently it's the main computer. Then you have McCoy, Sulu, and Uhura going into the rec room, which looks like it's a holodeck now.
Yeah, holodeck number 2, following on from Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. They're not answering their comms when a major alert goes out.
They don't hear it.
They don't hear it because it's not being piped through, whatever you want to call it.
Relayed into the rec room,
Yeah, by the computer, who makes a pit and covers it so they fall in and then laughs.
I do wonder how that physically works. Because it's not like the holodeck where it's all force fields. As we find out later on, Uhura suggests they can't get out by finding the walls, which wouldn't work with the holodeck because you're kind of floating effectively to give the impression that you can walk forever and ever. So how does it make, if it's a solid room, how does it make a hole in the floor? Doesn't make any sense.
If it's sort of floating to give the impression of walking forever, then presumably
that's not what's happening here. That's what happens with the holodeck. This isn't a holodeck.
Well, it is, isn't it?
It's an early holodeck, but it clearly doesn't use the force field thing because otherwise they couldn't go to the walls to find their way out. That wouldn't work.
Okay.
Because they'd never get to the edge because they'd effectively be walking on nothing.
Well, I don't bloody know.
It's a mystery. Also a mystery is that the fact that McCoy puts the laughing they can hear down to the audio tapes rewinding or something. It's like, wow, this is a primitive holodeck, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, he says, when I catch him, and it's clearly a female voice laughing.
Yes, he does, doesn't he?
Anyway, I've done my bit. I'm just fucking drinking beer now.
Okay, well, let's have some trailers, shall we, of some of the shows we've mentioned already.
Well, now look at children's programmes coming up this afternoon on BBC One.
Everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the Ghoulies get together. They got jokes for everyone with laughter, songs, and fun. So let's go to the Ghoulies get together. Come on, everybody, join the Ghoulies. They're gonna do their thing for you. They're kind of strange, they're real funny, and you'll be glad to know they love you too. Hey, everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the Ghoulies get together. You're gonna see how funny they can be, 'cause it's time for the Groovy Ghoulies show.
When Kelly Webster risked her life to rescue a strange insect creature, she was endowed with the powers of all insects, powers enabling her to help others throughout the galaxy as Web Woman. Guided by the wisdom of Scarab, her mentor from a distant planet, and assisted by her partner Spinner, Web Woman battles evil in all its many forms. Web Woman.
Who is this superhero? Sarge? No. Rosemary, the telephone operator? No. Henry, the mild-mannered janitor? Could be. Hong Kong Phooey, #1 super guy. Hong Kong Phooey, quicker than the human eye. He's got style, a groovy smile, and a mouth that just won't stop. When the going gets rough, he's super tough with a Hong Kong Phooey chop. Hong Kong Phooey, #1 super guy. Hong Kong Phooey, quicker than the human eye. Tick-a-chong, tick-a-chong, tick-a-chaka, tick-a-chong, tick-a-bop-chop-chop, and the bow-wow-wow. Hong Kong Phooey, fanrific!
The Enterprise computer refuses to give away the location of McCoy et al. And then demands Kirk says please. He turns the console off in response.
Yeah, I like that.
And orders Scotty to turn off its logic functions, which sounds like a dangerous thing to do.
Makes me think of Hal.
Yes, Yes. Whilst it sings Daisy.
Yeah.
Daisy. So when Scotty goes to turn the computer off, the ship turns off the gravity until he leaves the computer room.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Yeah, it's not quite as serious as that, is it? But yeah. Sulu and co, having gotten out of the hole, the computer switches the holodeck to snow, preventing them from finding the exit. Spock realises the energy field has infected the Enterprise. Even if they find the doors, Uhura and friends can't get out because the doors are frozen shut. Then everybody gets a case of the giggles except Spock, who discovers nitrous oxide in the air, and he just manages to switch it off before collapsing because it's bad news for Vulcans or something.
Well, they've got different blood chemistry,
Yeah.
haven't they? So it must do something different to their blood compared to our blood.
The rec room switches to maze mode, but Scotty's team crowbars the door open, so all is well. They lose control of the ship next as it heads for the neutral zone. And in the silliest bit of the episode, and an episode that's got lots of silly things in it, the cargo bay door opens, ejecting a giant inflatable Enterprise. Where the heck did it get a giant inflatable Enterprise from?
The replicators, presumably.
There aren't any replicators yet. There's food. They don't call them replicators. They're food synthesizers. This hasn't been synthesized. It's not food. I mean, it suggests that for some reason they pack an inflatable replica of the ship that's twice the size. For some reason.
Could you not use the food replicators, reprogram them to make that, though?
I wouldn't have thought so, but anyway, they're generally they
Maybe
don't
it's
have
made
that.
of sausage skin, I don't know.
Ugh, stinky. Kirk suggests the ship is getting revenge on the Romulans. When fooled, the Romulans give chase. Kirk is suddenly scared as they head for the Baron. You think, oh, this is appalling acting by Shatner, but actually it's for a reason. He's not really scared. He's letting us know that very subtly. Shaken by the field, the Romulans head for home, but they've been infected. And Kirk has conned the ship to go through the cloud again, which magically gets rid of the infection.
Because of course it does, because that's
how-
what you do in Star Trek. You do to fix
get
things.
infected by something, you just get infected again and you're fine.
Yeah, we go backwards. That's what you do with so many. There's so many.
They don't even go
episodes.
through it backwards though, do they?
No, go back through it is what I mean. From the other end to the other. That's the sort of solution
No,
to so many.
in order to have done that, they would have had to show it going from right to left, and they didn't. So it just looks like they've gone through it again.
Okay.
I mean, even going through it backwards would have been a bit naff, but it would have made more sense than going through it again, and it magically takes it away. Yeah. So, I think I know what you're going to say. Cannonballs or Spock's balls?
Rock on, Tommy, you'll do for me.
His brain is gone.
It's absolute bollocks.
Spock's balls, possibly, or
No,
or do
it
you think
doesn't
it's not
need-
even canon?
I don't see why it needs to be canon. It's just shit.
Well, obviously, what they're going for is a humorous episode. The problem is the humour levels are very, very childish. Hey, it's a kid's cartoon, so I suppose you're going to get that. But, yeah. I like the fact that it's not... I thought it was going to be some superpowered godlike alien that was responsible for this. And it's like, oh, here we go again. But at least it wasn't that. It was something different. It was just... I think the worst thing about it is the resolution is so weak.
Oh, it's just the whole thing's shit. And it doesn't need to exist, so it should get in the fucking bin.
And some of the visuals are, well, embarrassing, I think is the polite way of putting it.
Yeah, it's just no.
Oh, there we are. I think this is maybe our first then.
Just straight out balls. Yeah.
We've gone nearly all the way through. This is pretty good because we're halfway through the second season now already.
Yeah.
So there's only 3 more episodes to go, and that's a pretty good batting rate then if we've got all the way through to the third episode of the second series before finding something that we reckon probably doesn't fit Trek as it ought to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's come close at times, hasn't it? But
yeah, I mean, the thing is, there are other episodes that are shit, but they do fit the canon. Whereas this is shit, and it's not that it goes against canon, it just doesn't add anything, need to be there, so why is it?
it's almost like a sort of meta episode, like sort of a Treehouse of Horror sort of thing, isn't it? It just doesn't quite sit properly with Trek in a way that most of the other animated series episodes do, actually. I mean, yes, there'll be some childish elements, but generally you can see them as, you know, short, simpler episodes of the original series, but this is very much kiddie fare, isn't it?
I mean, you know, it's got Romulans in it. It's not, as I said, it's not against canon. It's just, it doesn't add anything, do anything, explain anything. Lower Decks doesn't use it later.
Giant inflatable enterprises definitely can't be canon, so that's just ridiculous.
No, I don't see how that works. And just all the... And I realise they're supposed to look like custard pies, but it does look like sperm.
Yes. Never mind. Let's find out if other people thought it was balls as well. We've heard from Jeffrey Mark Hyman, who has this to say. This is a very silly episode.
You're not wrong.
And that's a compliment. Okay. The first holodeck gone wrong, episode 2. If nothing else, Kirk is a jerk is worth the price of admission. Okay. It just seemed a bit naff to me, but there you go.
Yeah.
I still think it should have been Spock. Anyway.
It's true, though.
We hear from the Llama God.
Longest logs, got a fixie shear, Shaq, Greg Jake. Some people call me the Space Cowboy. Now, of course, every good episode of Star Trek asks a question, and the question this episode asks is, what would it be like if ChatGPT ran the Enterprise? Well, the answer is, obviously, of course, it'd be absolutely fucking awful, wouldn't it? I mean, just look at the mess they actually got into here. A situation in which every question they ask the ship's computer is given an incorrect response, or given something they didn't actually want back, or the response to the question is something that is genuinely dangerous and harmful to human life. Just rather, it's just a story, isn't it? And not something we'd actually see in real life, eh? Not some sort of fable that we're going to use for an example of how not to do things in the future, eh? Eh? Yeah, oh well. But yes, this episode is the typical, the Enterprise crew comes across a computer that's gone mad, gone wrong, is some other ways malfunctioning and being dangerous, and it is, from that point of view, a very simple, very typical Star Trek story. Only this time the difference is that the Enterprise herself that is the danger. Now obviously that can make to increase terror and tension, because the Enterprise's home, the safety of home, is being corrupted, and that makes it slightly more horrific, the danger more real to crew. On the other hand, it's also really cheap, because the animators don't need to draw any other backgrounds or come up with any other situations or scenarios or anything. So yeah, this is actually a really cheap episode. And the other question, of course, we ask of the animated series episodes is this something that could be done in live action? And if it's just a part of the story about the Enterprise computer going wrong, then yeah, they could have done that in live action, because they just reuse those standing sets all the time, especially in late season 3. However, thankfully, there's another strand to this episode, and that is, of course, the thread that asks the question, what if ships had holodecks? Well, it turns out that that'd be a really fucking bad idea, and that they really shouldn't do it. Just as well they don't routinely install holodecks on starships in the future, eh? Eh? Yeah. It's like it's a whole episode where no one's learned any of the messages. Oh well. But yes, we get the introduction to the holodeck in this episode. It's very basic, no creatures they can actually interact with here, but it still shows that they're actually really, really dangerous, and it does ask the question, why the bloody hell will they do that? Why haven't they learned from this episode and have safeties? Obviously, the holodecks that exist by the time of the Next Generation are a lot more advanced, but also, at the same time, because they're more advanced, they're also a lot more dangerous. So, yeah, it's not like they've actually learned or improved anything as they've gone along. Thanks for Strange New Worlds, also, this does make this episode seem rather strange, because obviously there was that whole episode where they were testing out holodeck, and Pike decided, no, it's too dangerous, we don't want to have this on the ship. So it does beg the question of, when exactly did Kirk have this installed? Did he not bother reading through Pike's logs? Or did he just decide that, actually, no, because he's Kirk, he can do it better? Yeah? Or maybe was it Spock that insisted on the reinstallation of this holodeck? Was he feeling horny again? And did he remember what happened last time that the holodeck was used on the Enterprise? Yeah? And maybe he thought this could be his chance to get lucky again, maybe? But this part of the episode does at least give us something they couldn't have done in live action. In the 60s anyway, I mean, yeah, they could have gone from location to location, but on the budget they had, they would never have done that. So this is something that would have been fresh then. The only issue I had really with this part of the story is that I thought at the end, when the crew that are in there in danger and the doors open to reveal the Enterprise, I thought they were going to go onto a holodeck simulation of the Enterprise, because it seemed far too handy for the situation they actually found themselves in. But no, they weren't thinking that far ahead at that point. We had to wait for the Next Generation for that to happen. The only other slight disappointment is that part of the episode that isn't explored is the actual space oddness that causes the Enterprise to go mad in the first place. Some sort of space parasite or something. That's an interesting idea they've got there, and they just don't do anything with it at all. It's just really the thing that kicks off all of the danger of the crew in this episode, which I guess is pretty much the same as any other thing that happens in Star Trek. You know, it could be a burst of tachyons or neutrino particles or something. No one ever asks where they came from, what they're doing. It's just what has actually happened to the crew. What situation do they have to get themselves out of this time? So I guess it's kind of similar in those points of view. And it was kind of nice to see the Romulans in this episode with the D7, so I thought for a second it was me Klingons, but no, it's just the Romulans. Yeah, I prefer Klingons to Romulans, sorry. I know that you have different views on that, but yes, either way, they weren't really utilised that much. Again, they were just there to provide a little bit of peril and to provide a solution at the end of the episode, which is very much in the same vein of the Trouble with Tribbles. So yeah, not a bad idea, I guess, but not novel either. But yeah, but at least it does make sure that this is indeed very Trekish. And finally, we of course get another outing of the inflatable decoy, which I absolutely love because it's just so ridiculous, and I'm still hoping that one day, maybe one day, we'll see an example of this in live action. So yes, this is a big question of, is this canon or is it balls? I mean, they're using a holodeck, the holodeck's dangerous. Yeah, this is going to be canon. We see the artifacts of this in the future. And fittingly, we also find out that they've learned absolutely nothing, as holodecks remain dangerous and the Enterprise is still vulnerable to computer takeover, especially when they let one of the computers wander around the ship in the form of data. So yeah, this is canon. Starfleet continues to act in exactly the same way. So as ever, I'll be looking forward to finding out what everyone else made of this. Hope that everybody else is staying safe in this crazy new world we find, where we're surrounded by AI everywhere, even if we didn't actually fucking ask for it. And until next time, glory to you and your cast.
Thank you. He seemed to like it more than I did.
Yes, I think he's filing that under Spock's balls, isn't it? So,
yeah. Well, he said he said it was definitely canon, and he certainly sort of took a moral from it. I was just too cross to take a moral from it, really.
Well, let's find out what Perry thought then.
Hello Orgs, Party here enjoying some time out in the garden, keeping an eye on the dog. To feedback on the Practical Joker. Now, this episode, arguably in the animated series, is one of the better known. It's known for two things. There's a third thing which always I remember for it, which I'll cover later. The two things are the Kirk is a jerk on the back of his top, and the fact that the Enterprise now has a holodeck. All the people getting it. Strange, Discovery in particular for its kind of holographic training areas, and yeah, there's one in the animated series. Look at that. Animated series does it first again. Before people could complain about it being a continuity issue with the Next Generation. Like I say, it's very holodeck-like in that it creates a feeling of infinite space. You can fall down holes, and it goes wrong and becomes lethally dangerous. So all the features we see in the holodeck kind of actually more makes the Strange New Worlds episode with the sort of prototype holodeck a bit unnecessary, because they could have just called it the rec room and put some limitations. It does just seem to do scenery. Also, I noticed in that scene McCoy keeps saying just what the Doctor ordered, and I don't know why. It's not the scriptwriter's fault, but it does seem a lot like McCoy's made a joke which didn't land but is refusing to accept it, so he just keeps repeating it. It's almost like just what the Doctor ordered, because I'm a doctor. Yeah, you see. But yeah, overall, the Enterprise, basically the plot is the Enterprise gets into conflict with Romulans. It's never quite explained whether they've blundered yet again, as I think was said in an earlier episode, into Romulan space, or if it's kind of the Romulans playing silly buggers with the border. But they're facing off against 3 Romulan D7s, so leg it and pass through a kind of energy field which picks up some sort of alien thing into the computer, which makes it play practical jokes. And the jokes get steadily more lethal. They get more extreme. It initially starts off as things like putting Kirk as a jerk in the back, and you can't think too much. There's some of them which do sort of make sense, like say putting writing in the back of Kirk's jumper, or making all the glasses put weird white splooges onto all their uniforms. That's stuff that you could say is done by the matter synthesization, because it's not a replicator in TOS, remember that, but the matter synthesization system, which the computer's mucking about with. Don't know how it puts a whole new thing on Spock's desk with eye holes and stuff like that in it. Don't know how it does that. But yes, it does. And arguably Spock, even dimmer, then goes and looks into it. He says, "This thing's appeared on my desk. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to shove my face in it." Thank God they never had to deal with Alien. But yeah, the third thing which does stand out is the Enterprise is apparently a giant balloon decoy. Who knew? Yeah, that's a thing they've got. I really wish we'd see more of that. That's sort of properly silly. It suddenly deploys a giant balloon. It's actually not my dog going off there. That's other ones. He's being a good boy. Yes, he is. But yes, they deploy a giant balloon decoy. I do think overall, I like the solution. Of Kirk pretending to be scared. A bit of overacting from Shatner there in the audio, but Kirk pretends to be scared to get them to go back to the field to get rid of it. And in fact gets transferred onto the Romulans as well after it's seemingly about to try and kill them. I did like some of the things, like the computer defending itself with gravity. That was good, and with the laughing gas. But then that putting them onto like an emergency supply. I thought things like that were quite good. So there were some good things of it escalating, but I did feel it kind of at the end it was just, you almost wanted to just solve the problem and get on with it, because there's only so much you can do. But yeah, overall entertaining enough fluff. I'm going to call this canon, if nothing else, because it annoys people who say they didn't have holodecks back in TOS. So all I'm going to say is do keep up the good work. I always look forward to the podcast and I hope to be back in the next one. But until then, bye for now.
Bye. Yeah, good point. How did that equipment suddenly appear on Spock's?
I don't know,
Gonzo.
but also, what an idiot. I don't know what this is, I'm going to stick my face in it. I mean, it's just really not a remotely intelligent response.
No, it isn't, is it? You'd expect him to at least got his tricorder out and scanned it first, but there you go. I think his dog is 100% less snory than ours, anyway.
Yes.
Which is unsurprising. Well, he liked it too. Good heavens.
I didn't.
No. It was silly. Very silly.
Yes.
There we go. It was kind of more what I'd expected from the animated series, to be honest, but just as well, every episode isn't as silly as this one.
Yes. What
is the next episode we're covering, you may ask? Well, that one is...
Albatross!
Yep.
Of course you can't have bloody wafers with it.
It's Albatross, apparently. Yeah, how bizarre. On the 6th of August. Can't wait to seabird that. No?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't even, it's no. Just no.
Next week on the Tuesday, the 28th of July, we shall be covering Babylon 5's Spider in the Web.
Okay.
Yes. Until the next time, we're splooging in your ears. Take care. Cheery bye.
Bye.
Theme for Star Trek The Animated Series was written by Ray Ellis and Norm Prescott.
Any music used in this podcast is for illustrative purposes only, and no copyright infringement is intended.
Find our website at borgcast.libsyn.com.
We have a Facebook group, which you're welcome to join.
Send emails or MP3s to borgcast@gmail.com.
Find us on Blue Sky at broadcastammo.bsky.social
and revorg.bsky.social.
Shut it down!